welcome to another GizzardFest band spotlight. And this week we have a 6-piece post-metal band from Leeds. They've only gone from strength to strength since I initially saw them, and they've really put together a great live show. They've played many weekenders over the last few years, and I caught them this year playing at the Cafe Indie in Scunthorpe at the Metal to the Masses final, which they won last year. Big shout out to the Lizard King Promotions, Mike. Still owe me a fucking t-shirt. And I took the time to speak with Dan and Owen. I'd like to thank the rest of the guys for allowing me to second to them and speak with them whilst they did the loadout. It was very kind of them. Anyway, here we go. Can you play drums?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm here with
100-year-old man.
and
I'm
you
Owen.
are
I'm Owen.
I'm Dan.
Owen and Dan from 100-year-old men, who won Bloodstock last year
We did.
in Scunthorpe. Just played tonight in Scunthorpe and are playing this year.
We are.
we are.
We're opening Bloodstock 2018.
The very first band on.
What do you play in, Owen?
I play guitar, kind of, or at least pretend to.
You hit strings.
Sometimes with a bow, sometimes with a plectrum.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Loads of reverb, lots of delay to hide the bum notes, and yeah. That's what I do.
For me, I play keys, samples, and a bit of chaos pop noise.
Yeah, you kind of fill in all the blanks, don't you?
Yeah.
I noticed you.
For me, it's like a stew. So I'm a filling agent of the stew, as it were.
Basically.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
We did a show without Dan once, and it sounded horrible and thin.
I think you've done about 3 with me, without me.
Maybe, yeah. I can only remember one of them. I was probably drunk for the rest of them, so it's fine. But yeah.
But that one we did.
That one that I can remember.
That was enough to make me want to forget.
Like, where's Dan? Yeah.
So, is there a concept behind 100-year-old man? I mean, the name alone is pretty strange.
The band's a bit of a weird thing because we started as a 3-piece,
Okay.
and it was literally a case of myself and Tom coming out of bands. We'd been in bands together before, and then I'd been in a band separate from Tom, and both of our bands kind of weren't doing anything. We just had a bit of a jam with Dan. Dan was playing bass. Tom, believe it or not, was playing drums.
Okay.
And I was playing guitar. And we just had a jam and recorded it. And
This sounds like...
I don't know, a long time to actually do anything with it. And after a little while, I think when we sent it off to a friend in Switzerland who put some vocals on, and then we kind of thought, oh, this is alright, maybe we can do a band. So then we started looking for actual band members who can play drums and fill it out a bit.
Can you play drums?
Yeah.
I've actually trained some of the drummers that have bands over the years.
Yeah. So we basically started off as a 3-piece and then kind of thought, well, let's make this more of a meal.
We'll be a 4-piece. No, let's be a 5-piece.
Let's be a 6-piece. So it kind of grew pretty quickly. It all felt like a bit of a blur from the 3 of us to suddenly 6 people.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
So,
I can't really remember.
in terms of time, like, you guys must have been coming up with this as a concept for a few years before you got to the point of being.
Yeah. So when we did the first EP, mini album thing as a 3-piece, very quickly after that, but before we had proper drummers and bassists and stuff and vocalists, we started writing pretty much straight away, and Blackfire and Long Wall off the album were written pretty much like immediately.
Okay.
A couple of other tunes we wrote around the same time, and they were all kind of written in my studio, and mostly just still the 3 of us. We were trying out drummers, talking about potential vocalists. Obviously, from Leeds, the scene, we kind of had people in mind. And, Paul, who does vocals on the album, we knew him already, and it was kind of like in the back of our mind.
So it sounds like there's a core kind of 3-piece, and then some circling bodies.
Yeah,
so to
pretty
speak.
much.
Yeah,
pretty much.
one of the things we had in mind, certainly when we set out as a 3-piece, was to do it as a collective.
Yeah, I get it.
So, not necessarily have a set lineup,
Yeah, I get you.
but for anyone to come in, do a bit of bass. If you get a bit bored, they can fuck off, and we can get someone else in. Or the idea originally was just a collaboration with
I get you.
all the musicians we knew.
So there's a core 3 musical group, but everybody else are people you know, people you like, people you want to collaborate with.
Yes and no. It's, I dare say, 100 Year Old Man is now the 6 of us, and we've recently started writing again. I've been in touch with a couple of friends just to say, you know, once we've got something a bit more solid down, if you want to come in, write something, feel free. If you ever want to play live with us, we can work that out.
And same goes for people who've contributed up until now. You know, we've had obviously previous drummers, previous bassists, previous vocalists, and
You've said at least cycles, so I realised there was a core kind of element that
the
must
door
be
is
driving
never
it.
shut. I think that's the thing. It's like someone comes in, they do a bit, and then for whatever reason, real life catches up with them, and they're just like, can't do this anymore. Obviously, we're like the 3 of us are pretty ambitious.
How big is that ambition, and how would you rate your ambition?
Short of bankruptcy.
Okay, well, how high are you guys heading?
Just where the music takes us, really.
As far as you can go with the ability and skill you have.
Yeah, it's kind of a thing unto itself. We just if everything stops now and just plateaus, like we'd be happy with that, and we would happily play shows like tonight, just turn up, get our guitars out and play some riffs, and then go to work on Monday, and that's fine. But if things start to pick up or we get decent opportunities, we don't want to be in a position where we're saying, can't do that.
Can't do that. Because drummers on holiday in Spain.
Yeah, so we have not like intentionally set up a kind of a situation where we have backups, but we have backups.
And we definitely, as a band, we don't have a 5-year plan.
No, it's a.
We're just gonna see how it goes.
You gotta tomorrow and see what happens. And just keep it. But it seems you're like a really dedicated core.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think as I say, Tom and I have been in bands, 2 bands previous to this one together. We've done our own thing separately in the meantime, but we kind of have a style and an idea where we're both kind of very different in writing, but also like kind of get each other. So the band can go anywhere. Like,
so you guys, I guess, didn't set out to be a post-metal band then?
Well, no, I mean...
You kind of just set out to be a band and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, the first record we did as a three-piece is very, very much like a drone record. Like, it's very, very different to where we are with the current stuff. And the EP, although in a similar vein, we felt those songs needed to be separate from the album because they are very different in feel and they're a lot sort of simpler.
I'd agree with that from what I've heard, like for sure.
So it's kind of a continuously evolving thing, and having new people coming in all the time helps. Kind of try new stuff, and we'll write something and record it, and then 6 weeks later go, that's awful, we're never ever releasing that ever again. Like, that's just dead.
You're not afraid to say no, basically, to yourselves.
Not at all.
I think the word that springs to my mind when I think of you guys is intense, but it's an intense soundscape. And there's a lot of craft gone into building that soundscape, and I think you have to see it to believe it, so to speak.
I think when we did the album, a lot of things happened to the tunes that we had written at the time. We went into the studio. We tracked a lot in a big hall. So we tried to use the actual room sound a lot, even with like keys and stuff. We were playing everything through amps and getting room sounds. I think Dan's keys, there was like 6 or 7 tracks for every take. Amps and DIs and room sound and everything. It's all in there. Like, it's a pretty dense record because it's a pretty dense sound when we play.
Intense but dense.
And whatever we end up doing down the line, I think it's always going to have that. Like, it's always going to be a thick sound and kind of.
It's one of the few times I'd say it's heavy without trying to be heavy. And it's melodic without trying to be melodic, and it's not trying to be anything. It just comes out in a particular way, and it's a soniscape, so to speak. I actually love to see you guys do like a quadraphonic show. With a like 4-way PA. I think that'd be quite interesting.
We did.
Let's make that happen.
I mean, we did when we did the album launch show in Leeds at Temple of Boom. There's the last track on the album, Ascension. Tom plays French horn on the record. So we got him to play French horn live. We got a friend of ours from another band called Heath. He came up and played Tom's guitar parts for that song, so Tom could play the French horn. And then obviously Tom goes from horn to guitar, so we end up with 3 guitars playing this tune. And
because 2's not enough.
At that point when we were rehearsing, we were just like, this sounds so dense. Can you join full time?
We did.
We're running out of frequencies, but fuck it.
We did a show in Sheffield on a tour in February that unfortunately Tom couldn't do. So we had another guy from the other guitarist from Heath, Joel, stood in and did Tom's parts. So we had a couple of rehearsals where Joel and Tom were playing in the rehearsal room. And again, I remember the first run through of the set. After we stopped playing, I just turned around and I just looked at Dan and Tom and I was like, can we just make this happen all the time? Because it's just like, all we want is just literally like the biggest wall of sound you can possibly imagine.
You want to fill every single frequency.
And 3 guitars does it for me, but it's an absolute I mean, it's
I don't actually.
It's a nightmare moving 6 people around without having.
I don't think you could make the next step to 4. I don't actually think there's any frequencies left.
No.
We'll find some.
We'll invent some new ones.
Yeah.
Some subsonic.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got one more biggie. Might be another question after.
Okay.
So, what are your top 3 bands that you're looking forward to seeing most at GizzardFest?
I guess, without a doubt, for me, has to be Vow.
Vow?
I saw them once. I think it was possibly their 2nd ever show.
I didn't go to that one.
Supporting Bosk, and I couldn't believe it was. I didn't know any of them at that point.
Yeah.
And I just remember afterwards. I was actually there with the guy that runs Geezer Records, and it was his fault that I was there. And after they played, I was absolutely gobsmacked, and we went downstairs and went to the bar and had a drink and stuff, and then those guys were milling around and stuff, and basically it turns out he knew 2 of them, or at least one of them.
I'd imagine he'd know Chris Wood at least.
Yeah,
he gets around.
And my God, I was not starstruck, but I kind of didn't really know what to say to him. So if anyone ever said they're a band to watch, they are a band to watch because they
definitely have the building blocks to be a big band.
Yeah.
I think their sound is.
It's massive,
they're kind of coming from a similar place as us. I think, in the terms of just massive wall of sound.
Mm-hmm.
But the atmospherics and stuff are incredible. I think
when they do their light show as well, it's next level.
Yeah.
I would certainly say that. So Vow and 2 others.
I have to say Baal.
Baal, of course.
Because I fucking love those guys, and if they're watching, I fucking love you guys. But, yeah, we did some shows with those guys over the last year or so.
Yeah, they're nice guys.
They're legit the best guys.
I'm excited to see what they're gonna bring.
Yeah.
I've seen them a couple of times post Steph, and I'm excited about what they might bring in November that is going to be
they've
different.
To date, they've done one show that I know of.
They did it with Joe Stamps,
and I wasn't there because I'm a total loser. But
I didn't even know it was happening.
Yeah, I heard the show had happened.
Yeah.
So I messaged Rich and I was like, what's this about? And
they got the riffs and the melody as well.
Yeah, and he was like, oh, what have we heard? So I know they're testing the water and kind of trying to work out what they're doing next.
Very few bands could sound good by losing their singer.
Yeah.
They've still got something without that, and they had a great singer.
We got them.
Great voice.
They were booked to support, main support for our release show.
Yeah.
That we did in Leeds, and they played instrumentally, and it was fantastic. They're just
Well, you've heard what I've heard. Yeah. I've seen that twice. I went back for more.
I'm looking forward to see. Obviously November's a little way off, so I'm looking forward to seeing what.
Well, that's why I'm excited. It's what are they going to do?
Yeah.
There's enough time. They were very much kind of we don't know when I spoke to them, so it was interesting.
But I think that's one of the great things about those guys is they're so humble and just let's see what happens. And then they go and do something.
They're nice guys.
That's amazing. And they're like, oh really? Oh, I'm
fine.
You liked it. Yeah. And it's just.
And then a number 3. Number 3. Screw my band.
I believe our friends in Archelon.
Indeed. They are very excited to be playing, and they're playing very close to you guys. And I'm kind of I'm pleased that they're playing it, and you guys agreed to play it, and it's it works out because they're going to work together,
Yeah, we did a little stint with those guys, just after the Blackfire single came out, and seeing those guys they did. Literally every single night it was a completely different set. Those guys are totally on it. They know what they're doing.
I did
2 guitars one night, 3 guitars and no bass another night, and like every single night you got a different set, different sound, and it always sounded mint, like huge. Like it sounded like that's what they were supposed to sound like.
It's Craig and T. So basically, Archelon, Baal, and Vow.
Yeah.
That's your
and
guys.
That's literally just. I've had a few beers and I'm playing some riffs in my head. So, like that's what I'm coming up with. There's loads of obviously everybody on that bill is amazing.
It shouldn't be a boring day.
No, not at all. We're stoked to be there.
Are you guys bringing anything special? You got anything special in mind? And then I'll let you go. You obviously already have a very special show, but
we may have new songs.
You might be doing something new. Maybe.
But we may not.
we may not have new songs.
Well, we've as the new 6-piece, we've started writing.
Yeah.
So we'll just see what happens.
Okay, excellent.
But yeah,
That's a very diplomatic way of putting it. I'd have been like, "You shit, yeah." And then, well, sorry guys, we're just going to play the album because we're not.
We'll
ready.
see. We'll see.
Yeah.
You're going to play what's ready, man.
Yeah.
You can do what's ready.
That's fine.
Okay, well, cheers, guys.
So that was Dan and Owen from 100-Year-Old Man. I'd like to thank them again for giving me the time and speaking to me. If you're at a loss, this weekend Tremlines is taking place in Sheffield, and there's one particular show that Holy Spider Promotions are putting on called Doom Lines. That's taking place at Plot 22, and if you've got nothing better to do, that is the place to be for heavy music. It's going to be sick. Anyway, see you guys next week. Like, subscribe, all that bollocks. Ciao.